The Express said, as we talk about that, parallel vaccine highways, opinion 21st of June 2021. They said the interpretation in Georgetown, in Guyana, of Dr. Keith Rowley's comments regarding approved vaccines was exaggerated, distorted, and downright false. Really? I'm not arguing with you, Express, because I've already noted that you all are fools. However, for those sensible people out there, let me tell you, Keith Christopher Rowley has overseen the worst vaccine program in the world. In CARICOM, we are dead last. We are suffering and we are dying. We are Brazilian variant, and once we go in ICU, we die. And he came out to defend his stupidity by trying to throw shade on other countries, on Guyana, on other countries who took care of their people, just like the developed world did. Because not everybody, no one waited for WHO approvals, and there are emergency approvals, not full approvals anyway. Those who needed to open their economies, understanding the risk to economic devastation and health, had to be dealt with creatively and brilliantly. They moved together swiftly to vaccinate their populations. Some of them have reached herd immunity and are open for business across the board. We in Trinidad and Tobago are behind. We are last. We are suffering. We are on lockdown, shutdown, broke down, and dead down. We are being under curfew and state of emergency. We cannot move. We cannot work. We cannot do anything. But here the Express says, and this is why I call them fools. They say that Guyana and Georgetown Chamber was wrong and false. But hear what they say. By inference, he may have been insensitive to CARICOM officials. By inference, he may have been insensitive. That means he was wrong, fast, and out of place, insensitive. Why would he even talk about it? Why was it a discussion? Why was there need for comparison? Why would he have to say that, oh, he was so careful with WHO, this WHO thing? WHO is not the be-all and end-all of anything in the globe. But he said, in the circumstances, they move on, right? So that's the Express. But let me tell you something. We have a video here, and I'm going to, which one are you doing? Show the ROWLEY CARICOM comparison. Show it and listen carefully to what the Express
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to indicate to you that the vaccination program in Trinidad and Tobago is as good as, and probably better than, most, certainly in the CARICOM and worldwide. Of the 14 CARICOM countries, the only country in CARICOM that has received into its borders more vaccines than Trinidad and Tobago is Guyana. And the reason for that is that Guyana took a decision which we did not take. I've raised that at this platform before, but I'll raise it again. The Guyana government took a decision that Trinidad and Tobago did not take, and that is, early in the proceedings, to use vaccines that were not approved by the World Health Organization. And of course, if you see Barbados, which has a fairly high level of vaccination, 100,000 of those units in Barbados were units which Barbados received and accepted before they were WHO approved. So outside of that, if you remove that from the scene, you would see that Barbados would be in league with the rest of the CARICOM. And of course, Dominica was the same situation. I want you to pay that diagram I showed you a while ago. You would have noticed that Haiti is a member of CARICOM. Haiti is the most populous CARICOM country. Has 11 million people. They have not vaccinated one person there yet.
So he, let's start from the back first, compares Trinidad and Tobago to Haiti. He who spent $23 billion of your money, more than Haiti would make in 10 years. Haiti who has suffered through history. Haiti who just went through devastating earthquakes. hurricane, corruption. Haiti, whose major industry for the last 25 years has been textile, but not textile production. They import material and sew it into clothes, shirt and pants. That's their main revenue earner. This clown compares us to Haiti. And in order to make himself look like something as the chairman of CARICOM, he tries to throw shade on Guyana and Barbados. When we have been seeing, looking, reading, and observing the brilliance of the CARICOM leaders in Guyana and Barbados especially, their creativity, their ingenuity, their focus on science, their love and care. The Bajans took care of our 33, remember from way back in March of 2020, our 33 citizens who were locked out by that sick man. The Barbados government opened its arms to them in the pandemic and took care of our citizens. While we said keep them out because we ain't want COVID, but Barbados have limited little COVID, plenty business going on, open borders, open play, people visiting, money running. But we who turn we back on we own citizen on lockdown, shutdown, broke down, dead down, and SOE. And that man talking with arrogance and trying to bring down the efforts of Guyana and Barbados, and then compare we with poor Haiti, who with no resources would mash we up in football, by the way, under this clown who put a woman who does jog as Minister of Sport. Let me just show you. Anyway, Barra Jagdeo could handle himself. So let me hear from Barra Jagdeo from Guyana. Run it.
For changes of protocol, more lockdown, and we have demonstrated that there is no empirical evidence to say that by shifting curfew hours you're going to get less rates of infection, because people often during the course of the day they engage in economic activities and other activities that without wearing a mask or observing any protocol. So, but we will keep a close watch on the situation. Having said that, working aggressively to build the capability, we also, as I pointed out, had to have this nuanced approach. Unlike some countries that are totally shut down, look at Trinidad and Tobago, look at the numbers there. And that country has been almost in a perpetual state of lockdown for the past year. And it did not help really. They now have numbers 20-something dying in a single day, etc. So we have to keep people working to at least economic activities going, and at the same time try to urge our people, all of our people, every
economic impact, health impact, intelligence, creativity, balance. We, economic devastation, we, dead in. What does that tell you? Guyana and Barbados have bad leaders. Run Mia Amor Motley. Let's see. Ketos, you dunce.
The second major thing is that we want to be able to create a bubble for some level of travel from those countries that really and truly present no major risk to us. And we're doing this of our own initiative, but we anticipate that some people will probably reciprocate. We had a bubble before, but it was a bubble for all passengers. We're now saying that we are prepared to introduce a bubble for vaccinated passengers for those countries within the Caribbean that meet our criteria that is determined both, and the Ministry of Health's criteria reflects: one, whether the country is deemed low risk by the automized shape country risk assessment tool, and whether it has been designated not to be at the community transmission phase according to the WHO. And against that background, it therefore means that immediately from the 30th of June, when we introduce this bubble, persons who are fully vaccinated can come to Barbados with a negative PCR test, and we will not have to test you at the airport because of the criteria that the Ministry of Health has used to determine that the risk is absolutely low. And let me give you an example. A country like Dominica has had little or no cases. A country like Anguilla and Montserrat, the same thing. Grenada has been able to control itself as well, fairly well, and the issue, therefore, based on the criteria and the green and red that I have before me, we will be able to ensure that vaccinated, fully vaccinated persons with a negative PCR test coming from Grenada, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Anguilla, Montserrat, BVI, Turks and Caicos, Cayman Islands, and Bermuda can immediately enter without a further test on arrival.
And the only thing from Trinidad and Tobago that could go Barbados is that Heliconia, that Balize behind she. Because we have an idiot running us, and we on the red list. We really red. We red. Look at what she's doing, Motley. The curfew will be removed completely from June 30th, and her curfew working. She in a bubble. Hey, PNM, you know what? You know what she looking for? You're looking for jobs. She's going to need bubble builders. She's going to need bubble carpenters, bubble sweepers. PNM, Karen Nunes Teixeira, you all who laughing about Dome, you know, Madly, or your clap. She's going to need bubble makers. She's going to be bubble mixers because she's going to build a bubble. Trinidad and Tobago. A shame. I shame. Not even Tobago in the bubble. Tobago that was down at 0 before ROWLEY said, oh, Tobago is down at 0. We have no cases because we manage it so well. Come to Tobago. Tobago's the place to be. Bring the Brazilian variant. Travel 50,000. Come across. Party. Balance. Mass. Pick up something and pelt it away. Motley, Barbados will create a bubble for fully vaccinated passengers. Our people still can't come home. Borders locked down. We dead in. And that's what y'all are talking about. ROWLEY criticizing Barbados and Guyana. The man is fast and out of place. Furthermore, that's a prime minister with a landslide majority. And the next time at an election, people will say she guaranteed to win again. But do you hear how humbly she's talking when addressing us citizens? Talking with humility. We have a clown that has us starving. Over 180,000 people lost work. People not making money. Crime rampant. COVID-19, Brazilian variant, porous borders, exemption policy, oppressing people, and he's shouting down at we and talking to we like he's some big Sawati. You all want to see more? Watch some brilliance of Barbados. I want to apply for Barbados passport. Watch this.
My hand. So Barbados is extremely organized. Amazing. We got banded with these trackers. You have to download an app called BIM Safe, and this tracks your temperature twice daily. And you also have to write it down manually in case anything happens with the app. And your Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi has to be on constantly on your phone in order for this tracker to work. So this is what that is. It's a tracker.
We have is when ROWLEY trying to track the reporter and then when they're asking him question because he feels he's the hottest gun in the south. Hey ROWLEY, that's the tracker we have. The other tracker we have is to see who is the most dunce inside the cabinet. Whether it's convent girl, small pin, tight shut, or ROWLEY himself. It's a good battle. We're done there now. We're done there. My people, $23 billion. Red, left foot, right foot. Look at Hamper. Look at what Mia Amor Motley gave her people with Hamper. And she ain't spent no $23 billion in 16 months, you know. Watch Barbados Hamper. and watch my people hamper.
But what I trying to understand here, right? All the government, this government, let me tell you something. I guess all they need some new consultants, all they need people to give all the ideas what to do. Because all they just sit down there and like all they in a bubble, all they don't know what to do, all they just like watching this one go say something, that one go say no man, all they so like all they confused, like all they don't know what to do. Because you know why? When the steak and the lobster come in front, all they forget what was the idea and all they laugh and all they drink all the big thing, and then after the back to the we were talking about again, we was talking about, I guess that is what taking place around that big table with all of the ministers and them who cook up there with all the nice food. I guess that is what taking place because all they not paying attention. All they give people one hamper, right? Hands out to some of the people and them in different area, right? The MPs and them who is actually giving hamper as well, right? Hands out to them. All they giving people hamper. One time you could sign up for this hamper. All they expect that hamper to last them for months. Think about it. When all they give them that hamper and that finish, what are they gonna need? All they not studying that. All they not studying that.
All you're studying that. On top of that, Rowley criticizing everybody, but telling we that he and Colm sit down and negotiate a Chinese loan because it had less prescription than the IMF, and we used to take Xiao, Sinopharm. Okay, I was making the point. Why are we going to number 4 or number 5? Why not number 1? Why are my people not worth gold medal, silver medal, or bronze medal? Do you know now that all of you who have Sinopharm, well, if you're not planning to travel, that's okay. But do you know the UK and Europe have not approved Sinopharm, so you can't fly out there? So if you have to work, or you have jobs, you have Notting Hill Carnival, you have a job interview, you're going to study and so on, you have to get some other vaccine on top of what you already take. They didn't want to tell you that. Do you know that Canada has now said no Sinopharm? They approve certain vaccines and Sinopharm is not on the list. Now, what are we, the argument Rowley and them say, well, take what you get. A vaccine is better than nothing. Yes, it is. But we live in a global world. We have business to conduct. We need to make money. We need to invest. We need to diversify. Our people need to travel. So we don't live in a bubble. Well, we have to make a bubble by ourselves. Because we're not in nobody else's bubble.